I think, the field of AI is advancing so fast it even confuses those of us who are experts in the field. So it's understandable if people who are sort of end users and observers are a bit just dizzied by the launch of new products and the pace of progress. I think what OpenAI has done with GPT-4 and ChatGPT and this whole series of products is really, really fascinating. I mean, it's awesome what the systems can do, and it's gutsy the way they've just put it out there at a relatively raw stage. The core technology underlying ChatGPT and so forth was transformer neural nets, which were developed by Google Brain in Mountain View, like in 2017-18, right? But Google found it a little rough around the edges. OpenAI was like, well, yeah, but it's still cool. Let's put it out there for people to use. And I think that was an edgy thing to do. Obviously, it's taken the world by storm. On the other hand, everyone can see the limitations of this sort of system, right? It can't tell reality from nonsense. It has a very weak ability to ground its own statements in its own observations or in any sort of reality. I mean, it hallucinates constantly. And also, while it's good at inventing stuff, there's a certain repetition and banality to what it comes up with, where you can really see it's simulating invention rather than creating in the same way that people can. It's just recombining the stuff that's fed into it. So I think these limitations are real. They don't take away from the incredible utility of the product, but they mean there's certainly an awful lot further to go between GPT-4 and human-like intelligence, or an artificial general intelligence that's a real thinking machine. So for those of us who've been working on building AI systems and working toward AGI at the human level and then beyond for a long time, a lot of what we're thinking is, okay, they've shown something cool. They've shown that if you throw incredible amounts of data and processing power at some relatively basic algorithms, you can get some really interesting functionality. So now, okay, what happens if we throw loads of data and processing power at slightly more sophisticated algorithms with a few more aspects to them, and then just keep amping it up, adding in more and more of the advanced AI methods that we've been developing over the years and decades, right? So say you can take transformer neural nets as were used behind GPT-4, and you can tweak that in a number of ways that make a big leap forward, even if they're not all the way to human level AGI, right? So you can hybridize a transformer neural net, like a GPT type system, with a logical reasoning system, like we've been working on in the OpenCog Hyperon project, right? And then, lo and behold, you have something that can reason logically and ground its ideas and statements in truth, because logic systems are all about truth, right? You can plug in an evolutionary learning system, which uses genetic algorithms, genetic programming, different sort of AI algorithms, which are good at inventing new things that leap further beyond the data that was in there. Now you need this logic part if you're going to do the creativity part, because otherwise it's just going to come up with more and more and more weird, wild stuff. So what we found though is this is something that we know how to do in SingularityNet's AI team, because we have a bunch of people in the SingularityNet project and ecosystem working on AI since forever, on neural nets, logic systems, and all the rest. We did find, when we started looking at how to build sort of the next thing beyond ChatGPT, which uses logic and evolution along with transformers, and which runs in a democratic and decentralized way on a SingularityNet AI platform, we did find that's sort of its own thing, like that's its own project. And this leads to the company Zarqa, ZARQA, which we've put together with a bunch of SingularityNet ecosystem members, and we've put this together specifically to focus on sort of building the next generation of LLMs after ChatGPT and GPT-4.